What is going on? What is going on, y'all? Thank y'all so much for tuning into another episode of Beyond the Hustle. I am your host, your MC Daniel Tadamy, and join with me, as always, is serial entrepreneur himself, Mr. Paul Renee Jr. What is going on, Paul? This is episode 30.
Episode 30. Maestro, what's going on, bruv? What's going on? Give yourself a round of applause. Oh, man. It is I, your tax guy, Paul Renee Jr. What's going on? I'm here with Maestro, Daniel Tadamy with Tadamy Productions, man. It's been a busy week. How you been, bruv?
Man, this is episode 30, bro.
30.
30. I had to pull out the suit. Had to pull out the suit. I got my pocket square right here, man. You know,
fresh and clean. Yeah, I like that look, bro. I like it,
man. This is episode 30, man. We got to do it, man. We got to do it. I got a new mic, y'all. Got a new mic too.
Nice. He's talking me to get like that too, but now I'm looking to the arm though. I'm looking to that arm that looks scientific, man. It looks far out. I like it.
Yeah, and it gets it out of the way, man. It gets it out of your way, and if you need it, you know what I'm saying. So I like the convenience of that, and the mic I had before, it was dope, but that was the mic I was recording music and stuff on too. You know what I'm saying? So
so it must have been crisp.
A different purpose, yeah. But I wanted to be able to be like that in that direction. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to point because it picks up the audio this way versus a studio mic. It picks it up like that, so I always have to have it like sitting up, and I ain't like that look, man. I ain't like the optics of that, you know. But
I guess,
dude, episode 30, man. We've been doing this for 30 episodes, bro. 30
man,
episodes.
Yeah. It takes discipline. It takes tenacity. I appreciate you, man, for encouraging me to do this. I wouldn't be doing this without you, bro. And I'm excited. We're getting notice out there too. So shout out to our Beyond the Hustle family. Yes. What's going on, family? Yes. Thanks for your support. Thanks for looking out. Thanks for motivating us to continue doing what we're doing, and we're gonna do whatever it takes to expand what we're doing and evolve as the time goes. So we're gonna be around doing this because I like it. It's been a part of me. It's just kind of the everyday conversations that we have, man, that we get to include the rest of the family around the world on, you know. So I like it, and one of the things I wanted to include is something that I talked about earlier today. I had a business meeting earlier today, and it just made me think, just because I had a conversation about in the meeting, and I was talking to a gentleman about sales, and ultimately I got to a principle where I feel convicted of in the sales industry. Right, I'm passionate about sales. Daniel, look, I used to sell everything. I tried to sell everything from Kirby vacuums to Cutco knives to Amway, Quick Star, Mary Kay, Persian rugs, you name it.
Old school, like street hustlers, man.
Newspapers, right? Like that type of stuff, man.
You was out there. You was on them doors.
Back to the newspaper days where you stuff it in newspapers in the plastic wrappers, right?
Bro.
So ultimately, what did it come down to, man? And it came down to what I think is the underlying foundation and core of our essence as human beings on this planet. You know, tinfoil hat, entertainment purposes, whatever you might want to say. But I believe we were created here to serve a higher purpose, right? To serve something beyond us. And that's what I think is required in business, is to understand that, we have that purpose, innate purpose for us to serve each other. And the blessing is in the service that you do, right? That's what we were created for, was to serve, even if it was a higher being, a higher power, higher authority. But that blessing comes with the service that you provide. It might not come directly from the service that you are doing right then and there. It might come indirectly. It might come later on, months later, a year later. But that's where the blessing comes from us as humans. We're the only species on the planet that has to rely on each other in order to survive.
Facts.
Right?
Facts.
If a horse is running in the field and he breaks his legs, another horse isn't gonna be like, "All right, you'll stand here. I'm gonna got you. I'm gonna put a splint. I'm gonna put a
Yeah.
splint on. Give you some of this ointment and pain medication, and we're gonna get it right back into action. You'll be ready to go ahead and walk in 3 to 4 weeks. Another horse is a stallion isn't going to come up and do that, right?
No.
But us as human beings, that's what happens in
Yeah.
every type of capacity in life. We always need someone else in order to help us, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's where our blessing comes in, is with serving. So I've said it a lot of times. The amount of people you serve is a direct correlation to how wealthy you're going to end up being,
Yeah.
the amount
Nah.
of income you make.
And people want to, especially if someone's going to, if someone is going to spend their time, and that's what I equate it to. If a person is willing to subscribe to who you are and take a chance on your product or service, they're really buying into you as a person.
Right.
Depending on the level that you're operating at. You know, if you do know, or if they can get in touch with, or even see the face of the company, or the face of what it is, whatever they're buying, you know,
Right. Right. How close they can get.
yeah, how close they are, and then that's when they're buying you. Otherwise, no, if they never get to
Mhm.
see you, then yeah, the product speaks for itself. But in Elon's case, like that's a major worldwide, you know, uh, uh, corporation company in Tesla. We know
Right.
who the owner is. We know who the CEO is Elon Musk. And people, in his case, I mean, he put his face out there, but
He
I
wants to be
really
in the
see
public
that
eye, in
that
my opinion, and I
oh,
think
for sure,
that's
for
one of
sure,
the uh, gripes that he had with our president, was because he, in my opinion, expected the president to allow him to stay as the head of the Doge, but his time was limited, like the legal amount of time he was allowed to perform his duties was up, and he thought the president was going to find some way to keep him around so he could be, in the spotlight. He loved it. He loved taking those pictures inside of the White House and having his son on his back and getting all the attention. I mean, just think about it, right? There's a
yeah,
lot of there's a lot of wealthy people out there that owns a lot of businesses and corporations and percentages of this, and are billionaires, but you don't see them out there just dancing around in front of the media and being on Twitter and talking and interacting with all this stuff. It's something that I think is necessary for him in order to do, uh, probably a part of the person that he is,
yeah,
but I don't think it's necessary, right? I think that's one of the gripes that he had, is he was not going to be in that position to be, um, present in
yeah.
that Oval Office. But
He didn't, and that had an end date anyway. So I don't know. Um,
it
I,
did.
I I wanted to talk tonight about. I titled it. Well, when I shared it, I was just like, why why people decide to become entrepreneurs, or what's that push. We know that we talk about it a lot. We talk about capitalism a lot because that's what America is based off of, or that's what they say. You know, and to
Mm.
some degree there's truth to it, but that's not enough to say we're going to do business, because there's so many opportunities to work. There's countless jobs that people can get, that people can have. But why do people get into business in the first place? And when I was thinking about that question, like I didn't want to think about like why I did it, right? I wanted to just kind of keep it like a overarching question, like what would motivate or what would push a person into doing it. And we talked about it before on the show. Money, wanting to make more money. I think that that may be like one of the largest reasons, or like one of the. Oksana says, "Happy 30th episode." Appreciate it, babe. Thank you. We appreciate it. Hey, this is episode 30. We're gonna do the air horn. Episode 30.
I sound just like that.
Yeah, you did. That's why I did it. But no, so definitely like money is a huge factor as to people why a person would do it. And another thing I thought about was freedom.
That is it.
Um, and 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 when a person says freedom, when I say freedom, I'm not talking about it as a sense of nothing to do. I'm talking about it in the sense of being able to choose what you're going to do from day to day. You know, to me, choosing to be busy, choosing to work, that is freedom, in my opinion. I believe that is freedom, not just going on vacations, doing all that. No, but I'm going to choose to work today. I'm going to choose to go in it. I'm going to choose to throw 40, 50 hours this week at my business, it's 60, 80, whatever it is, but I'm going to choose that. To me, that's freedom, you know?
I'm gonna be able to go and uh, attend my daughter's event, right? Or or see my son's recital. Be able to take my child to the hospital if necessary. Yeah, it is that freedom that comes along with being an entrepreneur, uh, and also the a satisfaction that comes along with knowing that you're able to be a valued member of society and contribute to society, and people want your product or service. It's also self motivated and you know, uh, so it's not for everyone, right? Some people choose to be entrepreneurs because their back was against the wall and there was nothing else. I've seen
Mm-hmm.
a lot of successful gentlemen in the real estate game who had felonies on their records and were ended up allowing the board ended up allowing them to still get their real estate license. They waived their felonies and allowed them to work. And they're some of the most successful real estate agents in the business because they had no other choice. Their back was against the wall. Who was going to hire them, right? Because of their record, even if it was something that was minor, not minor, but nothing business related or anything like that. Which is why they got the waiver. Still, they're limited to what they can do as far as how to provide for themselves and their family. So, but they took that opportunity uh, like it was the only option that they had, right? The Hail
That's
Mary
a good
pass,
option.
and they, you know, 10 toes down, went in it hard, full time, because there's no other option. The back's against the wall, right? That's when the dog bites uh, fierce. Is when the back is against the wall. So, and they come out being, one of the best agents because what else were they going to do, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes that's a guiding factor to why people become entrepreneurs. A lot of time, one in my case, I just didn't. I was always um, I always observed the satisfaction of business owners around me
Yeah.
of being, their own person, being self-made. It was kind of like, a thing growing up for me. And, I always remembered, uh, a statement that stuck in my head that my father told me. He's like, always write your own checks. Right.
Mm.
And I kept looking and finding ways of how to do that. And, finally, uh, you know, I found my purpose, my sacred duty, in helping people, file their taxes and um, helping entrepreneurs file their taxes properly and guide them on the steps of operating a successful business. It's been a blessing. So
Yeah.
another motivating factor is that as well. The uh, desire to want to serve people, and then someone just looks to see what falls in line with their genius, and then
Yeah.
uses that to go out there and see if they can help as many people as possible. So there's many different variables of why people are entrepreneurs, but those are some of my thoughts of
Yeah.
off the top of my head.
I like desperation being a motivator. I, I like it, man. I think that out of all, you know, just spitballing there, money's a great motivator. Um, Freedom being a motivator, and you said desperation, and the last one says the desire to serve. I like desperation, man, out of all of those so far because I feel like desperation puts you. It's out of all those reasons, that's the only one that's mm, that's like I can't fail at this. Failure is not an option. You know, you're in a do
Yeah,
or die situation because if this doesn't work, like there is no plan B or C, you know? There's only A. There's not even like no A1 or A2. This is it's just plan A. Like this will and I think willpower and willing yourself into a situation with that mentality, I don't think anything's off the table, man. That's just the way I think about it. When I think about, definitely, especially being in America, right? Where
mm,
and you hear it a lot. People are like, "Oh yeah, hard work." Anthony Mackie was talking about his success in Hollywood and how we tell our kids, if you go to school, if you do this, if you do that, these are the outcomes that you'll get.
right.
And he brought up a good point though. He was just saying how that's not true. If you're not tapped or if you don't have that opportunity, you have people that are great. He said, "I'm not the best actor. You got people that act better than me, but I got picked." So I understand that mentality when you're talking about something like that. When we talk about entrepreneurship, yes, you do have to be able to be picked by clients, yet the opportunity or the chance to be picked, it's greater in my opinion than like being selected for the draft, the NBA or NFL or whatever draft,
Of course.
MLB draft, because I mean, you got a certain amount of teams and you got to be here. When it comes to entrepreneurship, when it comes to putting your product or service out there in front of the world, your opportunity, I mean, you have like, just in America alone, you have over 350 million people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that's way more opportunities to be picked.
That's a
You
lot of
know,
leads.
that's a that's a lot of leads. If we're talking about being able to, and then when you start talking about your niche, your target market, yeah, that number decreases. Yet and still, it's still gonna give you millions of individuals. You know, um, to me, that will be the hard part. Then, like, how are you gonna get yourself out there? And then that's why you reach out to me. And then when you make all that money, you reach out to Paul. But
Definitely.
you
I'm
know,
telling you, real estate, real estate, real estate. That's where to bring it to. And let's help you cut down the tax liabilities that you're going to have off of that money that you make. Yeah, I love helping people start businesses though and help guide them in the right path though. That's a blessing. I've you know I've been living a blessed life. Being able to help people. What more can I ask for?
yeah, yeah. For me, one of the biggest reasons uh, when I started to wanting to do my own thing in inventions entrepreneurship, my biggest thing was uh, it was great doing what I like to do and what I love to do. Being in these spaces, I do enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. And when I would go to jobs and when I would go to work, I would be sitting there working. I'm like, man, I just this is great, and I'm grateful for this opportunity, but I would feel like I was just wasting my time being there. Not that that was a
Yeah,
waste of time. I just felt like it was a waste of my time because there was something more that I wanted to be doing. I wanted to. I'm a person that I love the challenges. I love the difficulties. I always
Yeah.
bring up, I always bring up what Robert Downey's Sherlock Holmes. I always bring up Sherlock Holmes, and I think Robert Downey just did an amazing job. But there's this one scene where he just got through cracking a big case, and Watson comes in the room, and Sherlock is just like zoned out, like being weird. He drugs the dog because he's testing out this this is it anesthesia? Yeah, he's testing out this thing. So he drugs the dog, and the dog is like just almost dead. And he's creating a silencer, and he's shooting the gun in the house because he's trying to invent the
Yeah.
silencer. So Watson comes in there and breaks him up, and he's like, I need problems. Give me problems. Give me work. Because he's bored. So like now he's doing random things because he's bored and terrorizing the neighborhood. And that's kind of how I feel when I don't have a challenge or when I don't have a problem in front of me. I get like bored and I just start like doing randomness. But it's because I don't have a challenge in front of me. And
Yeah.
in entrepreneurship, these things like this, it gives me something to solve. It gives me a problem to solve. And I just love that, man. And I talk about it all the time, fall in love with the process. And that's what keeps me, that's part of the things that keep me considered. Like even just this week, man, I was going into doing different things, figuring out different things about the show. And
Yeah.
I'm late, just like working on Beyond the Hustle. Um, but it's being able to do that and having this space and venturing off in that. And basically that points to flexibility. And that's what drives me in entrepreneurship, is just the flexibility and the freedom of my time to do what I want with it. I love that
That's what it
part
is,
of it too.
man. It costs to be free, so you got to put in that work to be, your own boss and control your own destiny. But it's not easy. You don't get that security of knowing that you're going to get paid every 2 weeks, right? You got to go out there and get it. That's why sales is a magical area. It's magical. It takes a magical person to be able to deal with sales and to be able to get out there and connect with people and not be afraid of the rejections, because it is a numbers game. Don't get it wrong. You don't bat 100 all the time, but even in the major leagues, right? If you're batting
Yeah.
a high fraction, that's still enough for you to be a pro.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing in sales. So you can't let it uh, can't take things personally, can't take rejections personally, man. Um, and Not a lot of people are built that way. But that's what really the catalyst of your business is, your ability to interact with people.
Yeah.
Um, you know,
Nah, that's dope, bro. I you know, I was talking to I went to the gym this Saturday, and one of my friends came out there and joined me. And we just fellowshipping and talking after the gym. And he said, "Man, Daniel," he said, because he bought the podcast, and he was like, "Bro, what?" He said, "Your consistency." I'm not too much. I'm not patting myself on the back, but I will in a sense. He was like, "Bro, your
as
consistency
you
has to
should.
be studied." Yeah, he said your consistency has to be studied, bro. He said because everything that you say you're gonna do, whatever it is you want to do, he's like you just consistent, bro. He's like you one of the most. He said you are the most consistent person that I know, and he was like it has to be studied, and he was like how do you get so? He said because that's why I feel like I struggle with consistency. How do you get so consistent with things? Um, and I told him, bro, and I don't know. I said, bro, I'm obsessive though, and I'm compulsive, right? So
Okay.
and for the longest of time, I always did like wrong with it, right? I did wrong with my obsessive compulsive nature, and my addictive personality. And I think everyone has some
Mhm.
sort of addictive personality to them. But I did wrong things with it. It wasn't until later in my life when I was doing music, I said, bro, either I'm a pop in music or I'm not. Because I'm not going to sit up here and keep wasting my time and energy and I'm not doing anything with my music. Like, no.
Mhm.
So, like, I went crazy hard with my music, bro. Like crazy hard. Like, when I came back from overseas, before I went overseas or like that. And
did you sell all your equipment?
I still have my music equipment.
Oh man.
You sold it?
I had to, man. I had to. I gave myself an ultimatum.
Oh,
I
you did?
said, man, yeah, I did the same thing. I went crazy hard, and I said, you know what? If I'm not gonna make X amount of dollars by the end of this year, I'm giving it up. I'm selling everything. And yeah, it hit that time. And because look, man, I had bills to pay. I was grown, I had,
Yeah.
responsibilities and priorities. And I said, you know what? I didn't even need to sell it, but I did. I
Hmm.
had to sell it because if I kept it, I would have still been dibbling and dabbling
Playing around with it.
into it. I needed to get it away from me and get it out of my face. And it was so heart torn.
Yeah.
I felt it for a while, man. If I still feel it now that I'm talking about it, man. Is that
Yeah.
emotion's coming back? Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Dude,
Yeah, that was my baby. You know how many hours I spent on those keyboards and beat machines and synthesizers and all this stuff. It was crazy
I
on the computer, but
I
yeah,
did my thing
had to do
was
what you had
when
to do.
no, for sure. When I was going hard in music, I did it like this. So I could be consistent in moving music, and then when I started doing radio, when I had me and Oksana, my wife, we had a segment in this radio show, and I started doing communication, right? Because I was just
Mm,
like, man, well, rap is a form of communication, right?
it
Radio
definitely
is
is.
communication. So when I started just doing more talking, I said, oh, I could do this too. Because the only thing I knew from entertainment was just, or creativity was just music. That's all I knew. And I said, well,
Yeah.
there's more. And so different things got my attention. Yet it's like, yo, if I'm gonna, I'm not, I don't like wasting time. So if I'm gonna start something, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna go as hard as I can in it to be as best as I can in it. Bump competition and compete with this person, whatever. I'm gonna be the best that I can at it. So what is the best that I can do? What is the most perfect I can get this? And then that's what I'm gonna do. And just keep showing up to that. So my thing
Yeah.
is, someone may be better than me, may be able to outperform me and do this more elegant and all that stuff. Well, what I'm gonna beat you at is I'm gonna keep showing up. Right. So when you're tired, when you sleep, when you don't feel like it, oh, I'm gonna do it tired. I'm gonna do it when I don't feel like it, and all of that. And it
Okay.
brings me, and it brings me to this. This wasn't a setup. This just worked out very well. I didn't do this on
That's
purpose, Paul.
that's called heart, Daniel. That's called heart too. You got a lot of heart.
That's what you call it.
Yeah, that's what I call it, man. That's heart.
Oh,
That's what you
see,
need. That's what you need on the battlefield.
you gotta have it, bro. I'm, and I'm not gonna lie. Will Smith put it. Uh, he put it. He put it great for me, and I use it as an example. He says, he said, you may, he said, you may beat me in all these areas. He said, but if we get on the treadmill and I'm running next to you, he said, I will die on this treadmill. He said, because
Wow.
I'm not going to let you beat me on this treadmill. He said, I will literally die on this treadmill. And that's what I think about when I go at something. It's like, they may be faster, bigger, stronger, all this, have even better things. He said, you know, all these other things better. But it's just like, are you going to keep showing up though? Because it doesn't matter how great they do. That's why people always talk about it. They're like, oh, how this person made it in the industry? They ain't even got them good bars. They trash. They don't even talk about them. They ain't got no substance. They kept showing up.
That's right.
You thought your raw talent was all you needed. You thought you were great at this and that's all you needed. No, no.
Luck is where preparation meets opportunity, right? So when preparation meets opportunity, that's what happens. That's when luck occurs, where people haven't seen what you've been doing behind the scenes to get there, all the work that you've put in,
Yeah.
but they see you made it, and they're like, "Oh, you got lucky," but they didn't see what you prepared for, right? They
Mm,
didn't see
yeah.
you. They didn't see how many hours you put in the gym. They didn't see how many hours Will Smith put in the gym to run that treadmill, knowing that he can run faster than anybody else, who will run as long as anybody else who's next to him. It takes preparation, man. It takes work for you to get where you want to get in life. But it happens, you know.
Yeah.
And I like the chances of it happening better than any type of other, you know, job or industry. You get to hold that destiny. You get to hold the cards in your hands, and you get to make the decisions that you want to make that fits what's for you. You know, that's, you know, being an entrepreneur is the only thing that allows you to do that. So,
nah, you're right. You're right about that. Dude, check this out.
Is it true most of France is?
Oh, that's not what I wanted to do, because we're talking about. I wanted to do this right here because we're talking about. I bring this up a lot. What he's gonna talk about, what he's gonna say. I've just talked to someone about this the other day, and I love this, bro. Like, I love this. So check this out, bro.
One of my favorite quotes is from Glennon Doyle. She says, if you can't beat the fear, just do it scared. And the reason I love that is because it's like, who's making the rules here? I get that you got a lot on your plate, but who's to say you can't just do it overwhelmed? Who's to say you can't just do it exhausted? I get that you might struggle with some mental health challenges, but who's to say you can't just do it depressed? Now, I get that maybe you got some butterflies in your stomach, but who's to say you can't just do it nervous? I get that you work for some people who aren't always grateful, but who's to say you can't just do it thankless? I get that some people might let you down, but who's to say you can't just do it disappointed? Who's to say you can't just do it misunderstood? When you just do it, regardless if your emotions are in sync with your ambitions, you become the kind of person who does not need ideal circumstances to make progress, because what you have in that moment is an ideal perspective.
Dude, that right there. And if y'all don't get anything else from this show, get them 56 seconds, because honestly, that is literally my whole entire process, bro. And majority of, well, I ain't saying majority, successful people and people that transcend whatever it is that you believe the highest height is, they all show up like that. Depressed, scared, tired, overwhelmed, unappreciated. They're still going to show up. You know what I'm saying? Because the ideal circumstance to perform, it will never be ideal, bro. Even tonight, what I call you with, Paul, I said the internet was acting up because the storm was out.
right.
It was because there was a storm in the area. We still showed up. But like,
Florida.
it would never be ideal, bro. Never.
Yeah. The storm's expected, man. We in Florida, right?
Yeah.
And what I get from this guy is exactly right. And to make it short of what he's saying is, hey, nobody cares. All right? Nobody cares. Just get it done. Right? Who cares? You know what I mean? Oh, I'm depressed.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Yeah, just get it done. All right? Yeah, show up and get it done. Right? Put all that aside. There's something that needs to be taken care of. There's a mission that needs to be done. Go ahead. There's bills that needs to be paid. There's miles that need to be feed. There's responsibilities and duties out there that needs to be fulfilled. So all that, you know, all that other stuff, it sounds nice and colorful and everything. No one needs to hear it. No one really cares. Let's get it done. Right. And yeah, that's the mentality you should have. That's the mentality I've always had. And I try to understand, like, yeah, I got to get my body to be always in that position to sustain itself and be ready to deal with the punches, because at the end of the day, it's just you got to be able to take care of what you got to take care of. And you're your worst enemy sometimes, right? Your way of thinking under a certain situation that occur, something might have happened to you based off of how someone else feel that had nothing to do with you. You felt disrespected. Now your whole energy field is messed up and out of whack. Yeah, okay, it's all good, right? But let's get things done at the end of the day. That's what a lot of people care about. That's what mostly everybody care about, is the results. All right. And, you know, one of the things that I do notice though is when you're around people and they know you might be going through something, right? But you still at it. You still going at it. You still being tough and tenacious through the adversity. That lifts you up, to a different type of person amongst men. It kind of helps your character, right? It helps, define you. It helps your reputation that, hey, and it becomes, kind of like the heroes in the Owls back in the day where they sing songs in your name, people talking about you, and how you, fought adversity and you still pulled through in order to get this done. So, yeah, brush it off your shoulders, man. So I swear, if I succumb to the emotions, because they exist, right? They do exist. People feel it at the time that it occurs. The insults, the egos, the depression, the hurt. You feel it. But if you succumb to that, and especially if you had a purpose that you want to attain, but you succumb to something that was external from your original purpose, I don't know what I would have been doing if that's the case. Because, dude, yeah, life throws a lot of curveballs and obstacles in front of you, and I said it before. Your level of success is determined by how much stress you can handle, right? If you can't handle the stress, why should you be given this responsibility? So that's one of the things I gotta respect your man Elon Musk about, is he's got a lot of stress. He's got a lot of responsibility on his table, right? He's throwing rockets into space and you know having cars that are not requiring any type of fuel or anything. And your mic is off, Daniel. I know you can hear me, but I can't hear you.
Did you hear?
There we go.
Oh, my fault. Did you hear? Did you hear about Elon saying that Gronk AI will be able to design like products or softwares in like the
Gronk
next year, I
AI.
think.
I
Yeah,
don't even know
because
what that is.
so Chat GPT, right? It's just like Chat GPT. Well, Tesla's version, well, Elon's version of that is Gronk, Gronk.
Okay.
So that's his version.
It's functional now. Like you go on
Oh
there and
yeah, yeah. You
everything.
could go in and do everything that you could do on Chat. You just do it on Gronk. So I use Gronk. Uh, when I do like different designs and things like that, I use Chatty to create images. Uh, other than that, I use Gronk. Um, but so yes, that dude does a lot. But um, dude, I lost my train of thought. But whatevs, dude. Uh, I totally could my mic, man. Uh, so let's get into this one right here. Um, this is the one I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you earlier, but yeah, this is what I was gonna say about just piggyback really quick off of here, really quick. The ideal circumstance, and I hear a lot of people talk about, when they get this or what they're gonna get in order to start something, right?
Okay.
Which is great because you want to prepare, you want to do as much homework as you can. My thing to that person that says that, just make sure that you starting something or you continuing does not hinge on having or doing whatever it is that you say you need to get started or to continue, because it's not always about you having that to start. A lot of this is about the type of person you want to develop into to be able to sustain what it is that you're doing. Like what you were saying,
Right.
it builds character. A lot of those beginning stages and the weird lookingness and all of that, it's just for the character building more so than the product or the service that you're putting out. It's more so you, because once you develop into where you are internally and then the product or the service looks a certain type of way, it marries together, man, and it's just beautiful, man. So that's what I'll say about that. But let's check this out
Daniel,
right here, bro.
I want to have a cigar brand. I know that's off subject, but yeah, family. If you out there, anybody who knows how to get me into the cigar business, hit me up. All right, we're going it together. You know, but yeah, I want to do a cigar
Cigars.
brand.
That's kind of
Definitely,
dope
man.
though.
You smoke cigars?
No, I have though.
We
I
definitely got to
have.
smoke a cigar and hit the driving range too.
Oh
We got
yeah,
to do that. I know we talked
do
about
some
that
golfing,
most
bro.
definitely.
Definitely got to get into golfing, bro. Either that or pickleball. Which one are you thinking about?
No pickleball. No. I'd rather hit the golf ball. This guy said pickleball.
Nah, I rather
Oh
do golf too.
man,
I'm not gonna lie. I rather do
I
golf
play
too.
tennis now. I'd play you at tennis, but pickleball, no. And ping pong. Now I can do some ping pong
I do
now. I'm
tennis
nasty
too.
on the
I
ping
do
pong,
tennis too. I do tennis.
but
Oh,
pickleball
look,
is good.
Let me ask you this question. Sidebar, y'all. Hold on. We got a
Go
sidebar
ahead.
for a second. Dude, so check this out. All right. So if someone offered you $1 million, right?
Yeah.
If someone offered you $1 million to fight 1v1, hands only, your dad in his prime, right? Whatever age your dad was in his prime, and then you at your age and your prime, whatever your prime is, y'all do 1v1, bro. But you have to, and you have to win, and you get $1 million. You think you would?
Yeah, I win. What are you talking about? If my dad knows this for $1 million, he'd make sure I'd win too. I mean, we ain't stupid. We making $1 million.
Nah, y'all don't know each other, bro. Y'all don't know each other.
Oh, what do you mean? We don't know each other? How would that even happen then?
He's not gonna know. He's not gonna. So you got to put contingencies in for people like you.
Yeah, now you switching it up. Now you adding your own stipulations and stuff. Try to make it something. Nah, man. We shaking on it. We're like, yeah, come on, man. This is for my future self. Your future self. You know.
I see the video on it online. This dude said, my dad got out the car because my brother was talking trash. And he headbutted him and knocked him out. He said, I'm just going to stay broke. Nah, man. Oksana said, moving the goalpost. Yeah, you have to. Nah, dude. I posed this question to my brother. I sent him the video because I asked my brother, I'm like, bro, y'all think I could be dad in his prime? And we was like, nah, bro. My dad was a savage, bro. He was a savage. So I don't know, but I think that's a interesting thing just to think about, and kind of like have some fun with. Dad, if you see this, I love you. But nah, man. So you said you got it. I said I don't know, man. My dad was a savage, bro, in his prime.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even $1 million I wouldn't want to fight my dad, not unless we were into it together. I knew what we were doing, but no, I wouldn't even if it was something like, you know, for real on that level. No, not even for $1 million. I wouldn't even do it.
It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. All right, let's check this out real quick. I thought that was funny, man.
Is it true most of France's financial wealth right now is still built on
$500 billion a year?
Wow. From Africa?
From Africa.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of money.
And is it true that the deals are such that an African nation that has this deal with France cannot do business around the world with their natural resources without the first right of refusal with France?
First right of refusal is in
and they
France's
can still
hand.
tell them no.
Mm-hmm. They can still tell them no.
So if they've dug gold, coffee, cocoa, whatever, they go to France like, hey, you guys want this? And they say, nah. And they say, okay, we're going to sell it over here. France can still say, nah, you can't do that.
So insane.
And all those nations still run on the French franc, which is also hilarious because even France has
goes
the
on
euro.
the euro.
Exactly.
So wait, they buy money from France with their own natural resources.
Yeah, and if they don't
that's
comply,
not even worth anything in France.
Yep, and if they don't comply, the faucet's turned off immediately.
Bro.
Yeah, that's the world we're living in. Haiti's another country too that's paying France in the, I think, billions, if I'm not mistaken. You guys can do your own research. I don't know the exact numbers, but on an annual basis, there's money to be paid because of the country winning over its independence from France, and France was like, yeah, well, just all the money we invested and this was our land. Technically, if you don't want any more war, you're gonna have to pay us. Yeah, so it's that's what's called domination, my friends. Have enough money to own armies and take over stuff, and you be able to do that. So, yeah, we're talking about people who don't care about money. All they care about is power in order to be able to take over things. So that's government. That's people. That's the way it is. It's human nature. Unfortunately,
that right there, bro. That right there is evil, bro.
It is.
I that's beyond business. That's past needing stuff. That just sounds like just hate, bro. That's like keeping your foot on somebody's neck, bro.
That's what it is.
That's exactly what that is, bro. You're not even allowing them. You already beat them down. And now you got to keep them there, bro. That right there, like people want to talk about America and what America, how America runs its country and what we do to our citizens. That right there is foot in your neck and not even allowing them to even get up. Where you can have the first right of refusal and then you can tell them no, you can't sell it. Why would you even want to tell somebody? Like, bro, nah, that's evil, bro. And
it is,
Africa
but
remains in the condition.
He who has the most guns makes the rules.
So you're saying that France having the military, well, Africa can't even. It's a lot. Africa's huge though. They can't even begin to even stabilize to where they can unify. They can't even unify at this point. You think they're past being the ability to unify?
I'm not too up to date on like world politics and different regions and stuff like that. And Africa is a huge continent with many countries in there. So countries do its things. Every culture is different. I respect different cultures, being a person who travels around the world. I mean, I respect the way things are because it's, it usually isn't there or created if there isn't some type of agreement, Yeah. I respect independence too. I respect people who fight for their independence. But ultimately, what it boils down to is, war, dominance, control, power is human nature. It really is. And if people have to wake up about it, right? If you don't want to play that game, you don't have to play that game. Don't be a part of the process, but ultimately it is human nature. That's one of the things that unfortunately is what is damaging the earth is us humans, through our war, through our famine, pollution and everything. We're a destructive species. And it comes to the point where money isn't even, a issue for a lot of these people. Is the power, is the control. That's what they're looking for.
Yeah.
They print the money. Like he said, they make the money and sell them this money. That's not even.
And Frank, it don't even have
it doesn't even make any value, bro. Right? But that's what they're living on. So meaning that their economy is basically worth, less than what, just time,
there's no value to it.
That's most nothing is less than what the France economy is. Way less.
Yes, bro. Less than what bro, that's crazy, bro.
So yeah, you can imagine. Yeah, they're being held down, right? But that is human nature.
Being held down, bro.
To the victors, the spoils, right? So that you got to understand, like you got to look at it as that's the winners get to make the rules, right?
Winners make the rules, bro.
To what extent is this supposed to be, right? That's why so many people are like, you know, you got to be careful of what you're looking for, right? You got to be careful of where you want to put your opinions on, especially when it comes to countries, because now what are you looking for? What do you want? You want one government to control all the governments, you know, all the countries in the world
That's
and how
true.
they operate, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sometimes you got to let things be, because what is the
Let them do it.
alternative? What's the
Man,
alternative? You know, you so if you don't want to be put in that position, you have to be that person that isn't affected by things like that. Move out of the area, go somewhere else, live somewhere where you're not held and restrained. You know,
yeah.
we're able to move this globe as we seem fit.
Yeah.
But yeah, you
Dude, that's
know,
crazy, bro. I
it's
didn't know it was like that. I knew. I mean, because you know the story of France and what they did, but I didn't know it was like that. Like, and people like, oh yeah, they keep it destabilized, and like, okay, yeah, but seeing like how and like, yo, this was 2020, so
yeah.
I doubt it changed much in 5 years.
No,
You know,
no,
because
not
France
at the
ain't
economical rate that they're living under too, right? Like if
that.
they're
Yeah,
paying. Come on, no, they're still back
dude,
in the
that's
time.
insane, bro. Yeah, I got one more before we get out of here that we can react to, but
Sure.
I threw that one in there because I said, bro, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Oksana says the people can't benefit from their continent's resources. Nope, that's wild. So the relationship ones go crazy. So I bought another relationship one. Y'all like the relationship reactions, bro.
I don't try to read my girl's mind.
We gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, Beyond the Hustle family likes seeing
They they like
seeing the drama. That's what it is. They like the entertainment level that the relationships bring.
I
That's
think
why
they
there's so
hate
many shows about relationships, and because it's
it
entertaining.
is trendy. You gonna get a kick out of this one, Paul.
Am I? All right.
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
I don't try to read my girl's mind. I sit her down and I say, what's wrong? If she says nothing, I walk away and I stop trying, because my job is not to read your mind like a genie. My job is not to consistently ask and beg like a little puppet. My job is to ask, give you the room to communicate, and it is your job to communicate said problem. What's up? I'm fine. Cool. Play some video games or go work on some business and make some money, or go to the gym and train. Then when I come back 3 days later and you're like, remember that? You had a fucking chance. If I ask you what's wrong and you say I'm fine or nothing's wrong, that better be the case. Because if you bring it up 3 days later, you're going to get met with a stone wall. I gave you an opportunity.
So I agree and I don't agree with what he's saying, because I get it, right? So I understand what he's alluding to. So I get it. In that a sense, I agree, and then I don't agree in the sense of like in a relationship, like the forms, the methods, and how the communication happens, it evolves and changes over time, right? Because if you go to your woman, you go to your girl, and you're like, "Hey, what's wrong?" Well, that might not be how they want to talk, or that might not be when they want to talk. So there's a bunch of different nuances. Oops, my fault. There's a bunch of different nuances that go there that could lead to that. You know, so that's why I say I don't. But I get what he's trying to say though. I understand his point.
I agree with him 100%.
I knew you
Absolutely.
would. I knew you
Absolutely.
would.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with him
I knew
100%.
you would.
Well, no, it's not, because some people might look at him, especially women, and say, "Oh my gosh, he's so bad, he's so wrong." But no, it's just you have to understand that's the sound of a guy with purpose that's going on, right? That's distractive and time consuming, trying to sit there and try to figure something out, and like it's a puzzle when all you gotta do is just say something. We're not trying to. I'm not trying to, sit here like it's a episode of Law and Order, and I got to figure out what's going on and solve the mystery.
Yeah.
That's counterproductive to a guy who's got things that he has to do. Like he said, train.
Yeah,
play video games. He's got to
yeah.
play his games, man. Like, what do you got? What am I saying here? But no, it's I can't, now it just takes a certain type of guy to be able to deal with that type of sporadic fluctuating emotion, when women bring that type of energy around, and it happens.
Yeah.
And at times, right, you're gonna have to you know submit to it too, right? But overall, if it's something like majorly consistent like that, and it's always that's not something that you should be dealing with.
And I think that's probably what he's alluding to. That's why I said I agree with him and then I don't, because if that's a trend, and in some guys' cases, that is their reality. But like you said, he's a guy that, he has things to do. He's on mission.
Right.
I mean, you can hear it in the way that he's communicating. And not only that, I mean, he's direct, but that's how men are. Men communicate with a directness that is oftentimes interpreted as something else. And that's why I said
there's a number.
No, I was just gonna say that's why I said communication over a period of time, it evolves, because she learns how to communicate with the man, and then he learns how to communicate with the woman. But what were you gonna say?
There's a numbers element to it too, right? A lot of guys see his attitude is of a man who's dealt with a lot of women.
He
right?
dealt with, that's you can hear it. Yeah.
You can hear it. That's it. So he's like, man, I ain't got time for that, man. No. It's the worst. What's the use? It's gonna be again. It's gonna be this same thing all the time. A majority of guys that are gonna be like on the flip side of it, or who probably don't understand what I'm saying, probably haven't been in that position to have that type of attitude about the situation that he has. Yeah. Right. So that's what I sensed from him. And that's why I'm like, yeah, the same. There's a time for it though, too. If you're going to, to be in a relationship with a woman, there's a loving element and nurturing element that needs to take place. And you have to also be emotionally nourishing too. She needs to come to you for that emotional, connection, that support, right? That's your job as a man, is to provide and protect. And you need to provide that, nourishment to that emotional security for a woman, because, she's lost without that man's guidance and emotional security, and especially how volatile their emotions are with the hormones and emotions that they have to deal with on a regular basis. It takes you need to have that love and compassion for those type of situations. Now, for something totally other than that now, and it's something that's happening all the time, a man who has a selection, like his attitude seems to be that he can get, if he's training, he sounds like he's in shape, right? And so he probably catches the eyes, and he can sit there, play games, and be confident, and makes some money to be able to sit there, and so he probably has his options. But majority of men who see otherwise would probably not be in that position to have the options, right? So,
and I think that's probably what he's talking about too, because like the trend of it, and then the okay, yeah, there's gonna be times where it's like this, and other times it's gonna be like that. So I mean, that's why I said I agree with what he's saying, like to an extent I agree, and I don't agree, because I understand, what he's alluding to. And then he communicated extremely directly, which majority of women are probably gonna. And then the comment shows that, because I went to the comment section, I was like, I want to know what they said about this.
And he's not. Yeah, he doesn't sound like he doesn't love her, because he's asking her, "What's going on? What's wrong, baby?" But then she's like, "No, nah, man.
It's
nothing."
It's the directness and how he communicated that, because he didn't give no story. It probably did, maybe in a longer clip. He didn't give like the way he said it, which I'm pretty sure he did not say it the way he communicated it in that clip.
Yeah.
Oksana said he's good at providing a safe space. They both have to learn to communicate. Yeah, they do. Stonewall is not good. It's not a healthy way to communicate. It's not. And that's why I said I agree with him, and then I don't, because I understand what he's alluding to. Oksana said, "You're hilarious." But but that's why a lot of the women didn't care for the bishop too, man. The bishop, because the bishop was like direct. You know what I'm saying? He was direct.
Yeah,
and
that
that's how
that
he
is the
spoke.
case.
Yeah.
It is. He was direct, and then it's women have a hive mentality too, and so when you offend one, they feel offended, even though it doesn't even resonate with them, right? It has nothing to do with them, but when you just offended my girl power, and
God.
so it's I'm gonna jump on you because you offended women, and it's like, well,
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with you. You upstanding lady, you classy. Come on now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but that's a woman that you offending. So I don't like you either, So that's how that happens.
They get up. They get upset. What's up, Grind? I appreciate you for watching, man. What's going on, brother?
Yeah.
Me and Grind did a workout. He met me at the gym last week, so we got to
Okay.
on that. Paul, we ain't never hit the gym together, bro.
Yeah. I do crazy, a different kind of workouts when I hit the gym. But no, we never have. We never have.
Like, what you mean? Like CrossFit, like different type of training, like different type of.
Yeah, I kind of got like a little rhythm going on, man. I used to hit the gym hard when I was younger. So now it's like I don't need to really hit hard, but I just maintain,
Okay.
I try to increase, as I go. But yeah, I'm not in the gym as much as I used to because it hurts. It hurts to be in the gym, man, like that, right? Like put it on my body. But now I just. I don't, I might switch it out. I might just do light weights, just nothing but light weights, high reps, right? And calisthenics. That's it, until I'm getting that blood going and blood flowing, and sweat going. And then afterwards, I'm just hitting the bags or something. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do that for a good 15 minutes or so. And then that's it. So I'm like in and out, at the same time. And I get a good workout. But we definitely got. I mean, I'll show you. I'll show you what I do. See if you can hang. I don't know.
Good, bro. Nah, that's. I'm telling you, like
is.
when you go, like depending on what type of workouts you do, because I can do good with weights. I do good weight training. CrossFit, I'm gonna suck. I already know I'm gonna suck at CrossFit because I'm not conditioned for CrossFit. CrossFit is crazy.
I don't even know what CrossFit is. I don't know what that is.
CrossFit is like it's the no weights. It's a lot of the bands. They do a lot of the pull-ups, push-ups.
No.
It's more like body weight exercises. It's like a lot of cutting. Like those guys, they be more cut than they are bulky. And I don't really care to even bulk up. I do weights, and my body's just like it just bulks up. So I mean, I don't know.
I just want to keep my body a weapon. That's all, right? That's when it comes down to it, and be able to lift up my kids and play with my kids and stuff. So,
I like
that's
that.
all.
Keep your body a weapon. I told one of my friends today. I asked him. I said, "When the last time you broke out into a full sprint?" Because we were talking about like being in shape. I said, "When the last time you broke out in a sprint?" He was like, "When the last time you broke out in a sprint?" I said, "About like a week ago." You know what I'm saying? I said, and he's like, "I could probably beat you in the race." I said, "No, you can't, bro. No, you can't." So we about to race. But so
I need to call iShow Speed probably for you then, huh?
Man,
get Speed racing or something.
That nigga, yeah, he just raced RG3. He raced RG3 and tore him out.
I don't know
the Robert Griffin III. I think he played for the Chiefs.
Oh, the quarterback
QB. Yeah.
Okay.
iShow definitely beat me, bro. Like I wouldn't even race that young dude. Nah, man, you got it. But this is what I told him. I said, you start getting older, whatever you don't train your body to do, whatever you're not doing consistently, you're not going to be able to do it. Like if you're not hitting the bag, I hit the bag too. If you're not hitting the bag, if you're not boom, boom, in the event that you have to, and at this age, I mean, I'm not fighting, Paul. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro.
Nah, me neither. But
we just don't. I ain't fighting, bro. Nah, we just gonna get you out of here. But like,
it's Florida,
fighting, bro.
It's Florida.
It's Florida. But like I said, I jumped I was trying to touch something in the garage. They taking the kids to Dave & Buster's. I tried to touch the parking sign, and I landed. I said, "Dang, that kind of hurt my knees a little bit." But I said, "But when the last time I jumped like that? Like I haven't played ball in a while." So so now I added jumping to my workout routine. I said, "Oh no, we need to be able to," because whatever you don't do, like if you think you're gonna be able to, like the zombies come. You know, apocalypse time. If you think we're going to be able to break out into a sprint and protect your family, whatever you have not trained to do, you will not be able to perform at. And you're going to be in for a lot of disappointment. Like that dude, I should have pulled the story up, bro. Now get this, Paul, bro. This guy breaks into their home. He hides under the bed while his daughter and his wife got kidnapped, bro. He hid under the bed.
The husband hid under the bed while his daughter and his wife. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he was afraid.
Yeah. See,
and I guarantee you, it wasn't in Florida. I'll tell you that much. And he wasn't trained. He wasn't, because I get it though. I understand the situation. I hear you. But bro, I mean, you gonna take me up out of there, bro. Cause you're not gonna report that story on me, bro. That story. And then so what they did, they ended up finding them a few days later. They were in a house. They ended up finding them and rescuing them. So people in the comments was like, "Oh no, that was a setup. He wasn't scared. Like that was a setup." I don't know. Because when I first heard that story, I said, no, he had to be in on it. Cause there is no way, bro. You gonna
so many different variables. I didn't hear about the story, so I had to understand. But yeah,
bro, you ain't just walking in my house doing whatever, bro. Nah, bro, nah, that ain't gonna happen. But dude, man, we appreciate y'all for rocking in with us. Thank y'all for joining us for this conversation and talking to us. Make sure you hit us
Big
up on
30.
Spotify. Oh yeah, this is 30, bro. This is 30. Hit us up on Spotify. Add us to your library. Hit up Paul Renee. Taxmoney123.com for your tax needs. If you need production of podcast services or anything like that, hit me up, man. We will be right back here next time. Same place, same channel, 9:30 p.m. EST.
See you later, family.
See y'all.